Hello there. Welcome to GitLab Pipeline Series Part 9. In our previous lab, we have already discussed about the different microservices we have used for the online boutique applications. We also build the microservices using Docker and run it using Docker Compose. In in few of the previous lessons, we have already discussed how to build and push those Docker images into Docker Hub, and also uh, we already build and deploy the microservices into GitLab using GitLab pipeline. I mean GitLab container registry. So through GitLab pipelines, we have already pushed these Docker images into GitLab container registry. So today we'll discuss how to orchestrate these containers in the local orchestrator tools like Minikube. So for that, we need to create the manifest files. So the manifest file, it is a configuration file where we will define the pod and the containers that need to be run in the uh, Kubernetes cluster. So the Kubernetes cluster, today we'll use Minikube. Also, we can use kind, that is Kubernetes in Docker. Also, there are many uh, uh, um, cloud providers. They provide uh, different managed clusters. For example, Azure provides AKS, that is Azure Kubernetes Services, and AWS provide EKS. So we'll see how we can use cloud provider Kubernetes for deploying later, but today we'll see how we can do it using Minikube. So before to that, I have created here you can see this is a manifest file, and this manifest file that include um, two things for each of the microservices. One is the deployment and the other one is the service. Okay, so the deployment is basically define the pod and the container that going to be run in that pod. Okay, so in a single deployment or the pod, we can we can run multiple containers. You can see this is our container definition. So container is nothing, it is the running instance of the image. So the image what we have created, for example, you can see this is the image that I have already pushed into my GitLab under project. For example, this is currency service. Okay, and it is under the group microservice demo. Okay, and this is the version name of the image, and this is the version of the image. So we can provide the path of this image here, and here in the container section we need to provide a name, the image, and all other information. Okay, like in environment we have to provide the port, in which port it should be run, and also readiness proof, liveness proof. Okay, and also the um, resource limit we can provide, like how much request memory and how much CPU it has to use. Okay, so I'm not going in details how to write the manifest files. In my previous mm, few of the channels, I mean while I was discussing the GitHub and deploying the microservice into a case, I have already discussed how to write the manifest files. Otherwise, you can also go through in the YouTube, and you can get many tutorials about how to write the manifest files for the microservices. Okay, so yeah, this way we have to mention, define our the deployment manifest as well as the service manifest. So service is basically it is provide the I mean how it will expose to the external or to the cluster itself. I mean how it should be accessed by the external network, or how it can be accessed by any other pods in the cluster itself. So here it will we can define the cluster type. Okay, it may be our cluster IP or node port, or it may be a kind of load balancer. Okay, so here in this tutorial I'm not going details on this, so you can just go through any other resource source where you can get what is service and how you can define services. Okay, and here I have just mentioned all the manifest files for each of the individual microservices and the service and its corresponding service. Okay, so two parts. One is the deployment, where we can define the container, and the replica. Replica is the number of instances of that microservice that we want to run, that we need to mention in our replicas. If you see in one of the deployment, there will be replica section here. This replica I mentioned is one, so it will only run one instance of that container. Okay, so yeah, so this is all the microservices defined here, and to run this, sorry, what we need to do, we need to um, use your Minikube. How to install the Minikube also I have not explained here, so we can use the um, um, YouTube or any other resource where you can follow the steps, and if you are not installed it, you can install the Minikube. Then you can start the Minikube and try to run this uh, uh, manifest file using kubectl. Okay, so another thing that you have to use, we need to use here kubectl tool to communicate with the cluster. So for that we need to install kubectl. Okay, so for let's define we start the steps for running uh, the containers. Okay, so here the first step is minikube start. You can so here you can start the minikube here by using minikube start. Let me start the minikube. It will take a couple of minutes to start the minikube cluster. Okay, let it continue for some time and we'll come back to this. So here, if you see in this manifest file, I define all mm, the microservices. The containers. Okay, so it gives an error. Minikube start. Okay, let me stop this. Okay, so this way one in this microservice I have used the images from my GitLab content registry. Also there is another microservice where we can directly use it from the GCP. Okay, from the Google registry itself. Okay, so that just to demo that, I have also created this manifest file. We can use either of these. How we can refer our images. And also there is another Kubernetes manifest file. Here what I did, I have created separate manifest file for each of the microservices. Okay, if you go one of these add service, right, you can see that their deployment and the service. Okay, and also the service account that we are creating. Okay, so this here in this case we have the service account, the image we are referring from the docker, my docker hub. Okay, so the image we can refer from any where it is available. It may be your docker hub, it may be GitLab content registry, or if we in future if we are going to deploy it into the AKS ACR Azure content registry, from there also we can refer it, or from GCP. Okay, the Google registry. Okay, so wherever it is available we can refer it. Okay, and since we are built our docker image by ourselves and we have already posted to docker hub or GitLab, uh, we just refer it from there. Okay, so this way this is the single manifest file that contains all the microservices, and this is um, the uh, main folder. Okay, under this all the manifest files are available, so either way we can do it. So in order to run that, how we can use is, you can go here, you can see, if you here k means nothing, it is the kubectl. I have made it like create a alias name as alias k equal to kubectl, so I can use directly k. Okay, it means that it is kubectl command. Okay, so kubectl apply -f, and this is my mm, file here. Okay, the file that this is the command I want to use to mm, create the containers. Okay, or orchestrate the containers in Minikube. and in order to delete it we can use this command. Okay, but when we are going to uh, instance I mean create the containers uh, from the folder, this from this folder, right? I need to just mention the folder name, no need to mention all the individual configuration. It will take all the YAML files under this folder itself. Okay, so let me just do what I can do is like I want to run this. Let me run with this first. Copy this and run this. So it will run this manifest file, and here it will uh, pull the images from the GitLab content registry. Okay, so it will start creating. So two things that is getting created here. One is the deployment and another is service for each of the uh, microservices. Okay, so it will start creating. Then we can, after this, we can see how the pods are get created and how the deployment and services are there. Okay, so that we can see. Okay, so here it will, yeah, it is going to be in now. Here I have created front end external, okay, one of the service. So external, it is load balancer type. So there are two, if you can see front end here. Uh, so front end service, if you go here, right? Okay, so if you go to the front end service, we have two services here. One is front end external. So this is for internal. You can see the cluster IP itself. It is an internal load. I mean, a service that helps in communicating in the cluster itself with the other ports and internal network. And this external is of type load balancer. Okay, so that helps in um, uh, communicating with to the outer network. Okay, exposed to the external network. Okay, you can see here the type is load balancer. Okay, now let's go to the terminal. Now it's see everything is got created. Now if we want to see, can write k get deployments. You can see these are the different services we have deployed now, and k get SPC. It will show the services just created. Okay, and if you want to pass k get pods. So these are the pods. All pods are now running. So here k means kubectl. What, how you can create it? You can just mention like a like alias k equal to kubectl. Then we can just type k. So we can um, use the kubectl command here. Okay, and now everything is running. So in order to see, if you see here this front end, there are two services running. So load balancer, here we can use this cluster IP front end. So in order to access that, we can use the port forward. Okay, I want to use this port forward to the service front end, and using that I want to access my application. Okay, for that what I have to do, just type this command. Okay, now it port forward. Now I'll go to browse and simply do localhost. Okay, and 8080. So you can see I'm able to access my application, right? Okay, it will add to the cart. You're getting add to the cart, and you can do anything here. Okay, you can do place order and continue. So this is sample application just for demo purpose. Okay, yeah, that's all. Now if you want to run this, so what you can do, I can delete this. Okay, what I can do, instead of apply, I can delete this. It will delete all the deployments, okay, and services that already created, and I'll show how we can use this. We can use the files from the uh, folder itself. Okay, we'll try to use the manifest file from the folder under Kubernetes manifest. Okay, so for that, what we can do, I have to just type kubectl apply minus f and the folder name itself. Okay, no need to mention individually. Let it continue and finish. So once this is done, then what we'll do, we'll next we want to uh, use a cloud provider. We'll use Azure. In Azure, we'll try to create the infrastructure. First, we'll do like how we can create a AKS cluster and Azure Container Registry. Then using GitLab pipeline. So once the infrastructure ready, then using the GitLab pipeline will try to deploy these microservices by fetching the images either from the GitLab content registry or from the Azure content registry and deploy into AKS cluster. So that we'll see in our incoming labs. Okay. So now it is getting deployed. That I'm just running from the folder itself here. Okay. Okay, it is almost going to be finished. Recommendation service created. Yeah, service created. Okay, done. Now if we type kpod directly, you can see it is getting created. Few are getting container creating status. Okay, still it's not ready. Okay. Okay, it is running. Few are still okay. Service service still getting created. Okay. Okay, now everything is done. Now again, what we can do, we can do the port forward. Okay, similarly how we did last time. Okay, now if we go here and refresh, right? Yeah, it will take a second maybe. Okay. Now it came. Okay, it usually takes few a minute to you know, come to life. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. Like how we can use this manifest, and using manifest how we can deploy into the Minikube, or any even we can also deploy it into the kind cluster that is local for development purpose. And we'll see in our future lab how we can deploy into AKS. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel and share it to your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much. See you.